Hello everybody, this is Mike McCarroll, may call me, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry Watanagashi. 3 weeks later, after the episode where I said I will post this more occasionally, well, not more occasionally, but more often. Yeah, I kinda broke that because I used to post this every 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks, so I apologize. Let's just get right to the reading. I think we're on the final chapter, chapter 10, so let's begin. After hanging up on Shion, I searched for Rika-chan's phone number on my school's contact list. There it is. My fingers trembled with urgency, and I failed multiple times to put in the simple 5-digit number. Keiichi, are you calling someone at this hour? It's late, and it's being rude to the other person. That doesn't matter right now. I shouted angrily at my mother, listening to the dial tone. Pick up, come on, pick up. Mother, I'm trying to save a friend from a curse. I had to, I'm sorry. The time was 11 p.m. It certainly wasn't early. It was essentially the middle of the night. Had Rika-chan already gone to bed? Yes, because she is a 10-year-old girl. She probably should be asleep at this hour. Her phone would be ringing constantly, though, so would she get back up for me? Rika-chan didn't pick up. She didn't pick up. She didn't pick up! Maybe she just happened to miss it. Maybe her bed was just too far away from the phone. The sound of a phone ringing gets clearer and clearer the longer you go on sleeping. Then, the bathroom? Yeah, she must be taking a bath. If that was the case, then she would have heard the phone and she wouldn't be able to pick it up because for some weird reason a 10-year-old girl's taking a bath at 11 p.m. at night. Oh my god. It was a little late to be taking a bath, but it was possible that she normally took baths right before going to bed. I'll wait 30 minutes, then try calling again. Even as I was thinking that, I called her house over and over again. I kept calling. Over and over, again and again. I kept on calling her, but she didn't pick up even once. I think I just kept on trying for about 30 minutes. Yet, she wasn't picking up. Were my phone calls so persistent that she had gotten scared of picking up the receiver? No, that couldn't possibly be it. There was no point in doing this any longer. The best thing to do would be to go there in person. Where was Rika-chan's house, though? Shit! I never even asked her where she lived. English! Her residence was written there in the contact list, but it was addressed with mostly numbers, so I couldn't tell where it was just by reading it. Isn't there a map or something in there? Rika Furude. Her last name was Furude. It was a bit of an odd last name, so it might be easy to find. Thinking that, I rummaged around the drawer with the phone book, but could only find things like takeout menus and phone numbers from public establishments. Shit! I tore one thing after another out of the drawer, but it didn't come up with any clues to where Rika-chan's house was. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. If you don't know, then just ask. Ask someone who does know. Ah, that's it. Rena's gotta know. I looked up Rena's phone number on the contact list. Rena Ryugu. There she was. Hello? This is Ryugu. It was the voice of a grumpy-sounding man. It must have been Rena's father. I'm calling in the middle of the night, so I need to be polite. I'm sorry for calling so late at night. This is my Bara. Is there any chance Rena-san is around? Rena's taking a bath. Oh, she's done? Rena, there's a friend of yours on the phone. Oh, right. Rena Ryugu was her real name, wasn't it? I got so used to calling her Rena that hearing her real name caught me a little off guard. Hello? This is Rena. It's me, Keiichi. Sorry for calling so late. Huh? Keiichi-kun? What do you need at a time like this? Well, actually, I wanted to know where Rika-chan's house is. Rena seemed a little appalled that I'll call her for something like this something like that at this hour. However, she had spoken her next words seriously, as if she caught on to how urgent my need was. Oh, okay, sure. You know where the assembly hall on the grounds of the Furude Shrine? There's a two-story shack used for storage behind it. That's where she lives. I couldn't immediately visualize the place, but as long as I knew she lived on the shrine grounds, I just had to take a look around. Got it. Thanks. Sorry again for calling so late. I apologize to your dad for me too, would you? Okay, but Keiichi-kun, why do you want to know where Rika-chan lives? Rena asked in an unusually sharp way, halting me before I could hang up the phone. I hesitated for a moment on whether to tell her. He was killed because I was told him! Keiichi-kun, if you're still listening, could you answer me? Why are you asking where Rika-chan lives at a time like this? Rena affected her usual tone, but beneath her words lay a certain tension, like she's intuitively sensed something was going on. What will we do, Keiichi? If it's Rena, can I just tell her? He was killed because... he was killed because he found out. I revealed everything. So, God, wow, these lines are not that hard. He was killed because he found out. I revealed everything, so he's killed. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Keiichi-kun, Rena's being serious. Please answer me. Rena asked me once again in a tone so forceful that I couldn't imagine her ever using it normally. I was taken aback by her vigor. Rena was Rika-chan's friend too. She had the right to be concerned about Rika-chan disappearing. If I told Rena then, even if for only a moment I could drive away my horrifying fears. Rena, well, I can't exactly tell you why, but... Yes? Rena's tone was seriousness itself. Just from that tone, I could feel her saying, no matter what you say, Keiichi-kun, I'll believe you. That subtle sense of security gave me the courage to reveal the truth. I have a feeling that Rika-chan is in danger. You mean like a premonition? Or do you have some reason to believe she's in danger? I really didn't have the time to go back and forth with Rena about this. Still, I think listening to her calm voice soothed my pointless impatience. I don't have much reason, but yet I still hesitated. I had told Rika-chan that we snuck into the ritual storehouse. The mayor, to whom Shion confessed before that, had already disappeared. So, it was possible that Rika-chan also. I didn't know how to explain it to Rena. While I was tongue-tied, Rena spoke up. Sorry for asking something so weird. I thought about it, and it isn't like you to be sure. Rena laughed a little, seeming a bit absent-minded. I wasn't exactly in the mood to laugh, so this time I was dumbfounded. Rena continued in a cheerful yet still purposeful voice. You're worried about a friend. I don't think you need a reason to go and check on them. Even if Rika-chan was asleep and you ended up waking her up, if that was why you did it, then none of us would get mad. Rena, thank you. Okay then, Keiichi-kun, just one thing. You called Rika-chan's house, right? Then you couldn't just get through, so that's why you asked me where her house is? Yeah, that's right. I dropped into my water. Yeah, I just grabbed it with my foot, got it in my hand, now tightening the lid so that I don't spill all over my computer. I must have called her for over 10 minutes. She could have just been sleeping and not noticed. Rika-chan's house is really small. She would definitely hear the phone ringing even if she was asleep. Satoko-chan is there too, so there's no way any of them would notice. Huh? Satoko, you mean she's living with Rika-chan? Yeah. You didn't know? Well, we could talk about that later. Anyway, if you called that much and no one answered, then something's definitely wrong. Rena understood that the situation wasn't normal, far faster than I could ever imagine her to. It made her seem dependable. However, the fact that Rena had acknowledged this also meant that the best case possibility of all just being the result of my own needless fears went out the window. I will go to Rika-chan's house right now. Will you come with me? I can show you the way. Sounds good. Let's meet up at the same place as usual. I'll be waiting for you. No, wait. I'll come to get you at your house. You just need to wait there. Tell your family you're coming with me to Rika-chan's house, okay? Will that be okay? We might lose time if you come here. Did you call Mi-chan too? She's really dependable at times like these. If you haven't, then I'll give her a call. My thoughts froze for a moment. Shanna just told me to be careful around Mion during our phone conversation a little while ago. If the Sonozaki main house was somehow lurking behind the surface of the annual freak deaths, then the current heir to the family, Mion, wouldn't be uninvolved. So, wouldn't that mean she wasn't uninvolved with what happened to this year to Takano-san, Toмотaki-san, and also the mayor's disappearance? Okay, bye. Okay, bye. I'll be right over. Wait for me. That's all Rina said before hurriedly hanging up. Now wasn't the time to be doubting me. Now wasn't the time to be doubting Rina. Mion. God, I cannot pronounce the word doubt with an in at it. Daubing. I hate that word. I freaking hate that word. Okay, let's move on. I need to make sure that Rika-chan was safe. I got changed and grabbed the key to my bike. I figured things would go more smoothly if we met up in the place we usually do before school. Rena wouldn't need to come all the way to my house. Idiot! She said, meet at your house. Idiot! My parents would probably eject if I told them if I was leaving, so I creeped out without a word. The night was unusually warm and disagreeably humid. Idiot. She said that Rika-chan and Satoko lived together, right? Then it wasn't only Rika-chan. Satoko wasn't there either? Realizing what them living together really meant caused my thoughts to immediately take a turn for the worse. That can't be. She's got nothing to do with any of this. Even if there was a reason for Rika-chan to disappear, there shouldn't be one for Satoko. Keiichi-kun! Rena was really fast. She approached me on her bike at an amazing speed. Her breath was ragged, painting a clear picture of just how hurriedly she'd been going. Hey Rena, let's get going! Keiichi-kun, I thought I told you the way at your house. Rena's expression was all business. Was she mad? It came out of the blue, and I faltered for a moment. Well, I just thought it would be faster to meet up here. Keiichi-kun, don't you get it? Rena shouted, clearly angry. I've never seen Rena like this before. Do I get it? What's the problem? Rena seemed to notice that she was scaring me. Took a couple of deep breaths, then continued as if not admonishing me, but her expression didn't soften at all. Keiichi-kun, the whole village is in uproar right now that the elder disappeared, right? Yeah? Now you're telling me that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan are not... Oh. Now you're telling me that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan aren't where they're supposed to be, right? Yeah? That about sums it up. Then you need to be more careful. Do you have any idea how dangerous it is to be standing out here alone in the middle of the night? I began to understand where Rena's anger was coming from. You told your family you'd be going to Rika-chan's house with me, didn't you? So, in the worst case scenario, if you or I disappear, people will know when and where we did. Rena was perfectly level-headed in this emergency situation. Ever since the night of the Watanagashi, every night someone had died or disappeared. On the night itself, Takano-san and Toмотaki-san met strange ends. On the next night, the elder vanished. Now, on the next night after that, Rika-chan and Satoko were nowhere to be found. I hadn't even think of anyone but myself, but it was enough to say that Himizawa was a little weird at the moment. It was In fact, extremely strange. Rena had even anticipated our own disappearances and told me to tell my family where I was going. I was embarrassed at my own carelessness, and the need to be embarrassed made me afraid of the night. Sorry, I didn't tell them yet. Okay, then let's go tell them together. With Rena beside me, I wheeled back towards my house. Oh boy. The moon seemed strangely high in the sky. A sky that was unusually vast and cold. So that no matter what, it would never seem to be like a dream. This cruel fact had already confronted me. Such a crazy night. Rena had been unimaginably dependable. Himizawa's metamorphosis, enough to make Rena's caution me against carelessness, was, to me, the most fearsome thing of all. The moon seemed strangely high in the sky. We met up with Mion on the way, and she, of course, was unsure whether to believe me about Rika-chan and Satoko's disappearances. Kei-chan, are you serious? I'm going to get really mad if this is a joke. Mion was clearly displeased. If this were a joke, it wasn't very funny. I understood how indiscreet my words were. Ever since the day before yesterday, someone had either died or vanished every night. Rika-chan and Satoko disappearing after all that was something that you couldn't just say, even in jest. Mi-chan, if it was really a joke, don't get mad. Smile. It will be a joke after all. We need to go make sure whether it's a joke or not. You're right. Sorry for getting upset. However indiscreet a joke it may have been, if we learned that our friends were safe, it would end up being nothing more as a funny story. Having been warned about that by Rena, Mion gave a dry smile, the tension she felt loosening a bit. She mounted her bicycle as well. Our 3 bicycle lights flashed down the pitch-black roads. They were the only illumination outside. Kei-chan, why did you suddenly decide to call and ask about Rika-chan at a time like this? Mion asked me the same thing I had trouble explaining to Rena. Would it be weird to call it a premonition? I couldn't quite tell because it was dark, but I thought I could see Mion smiling very ambiguously. I definitely understood that she wasn't convinced, though, despite the darkness. Well, I had this bad dream while I was snoozing, and I couldn't just get it out of my head. So, did Rika-chan get kidnapped in the dream? Well, it was more of a vague feeling sort of thing. If Rika-chan had answered the phone, I would have called you and Rena after that. Lies smoothly babbled out of my mouth, makeshift as though they were. I was lying because I thought telling them I was connected to Shion would be silently admitting we stolen into the original storehouse together that night. Mion didn't press me any further. I don't know whether that convinced her. Or maybe she just figured that making sure Rika-chan and Satoko were safe would be faster than making an issue out of it. I felt relieved and immediately a little guilty. Mion hadn't really been acting any differently in these last few days, but I'm trying to distance myself from her for some reason. It was only because what I heard from Shion and Uishi-san, that she was the successor to some super extravagant gang family. No. Was I just trying to force myself to forget? Don't do that, Keiji Maebara. Wasn't it Mion who first asked you about the night at the Watanagashi? Such a harsh tone, at that. Have I already forgotten the terror I felt? At the time, Mion looked like someone different from the Mion I knew. When I think about Mion, then Shion and Uishi-san's descriptions of Mion made a tiny bit more sense. That's it, isn't it? If it wasn't for how she acted that day, then I wouldn't be feeling this way towards her now. What on earth was going on with her back then? I was conveniently thinking only of everything she had done after that. While disagreeing with the very first thing, the thing I should have been looking at the most, wasn't I? Mion was pedaling her bicycle in front of me, her long hair fluttering in the wind. No matter how long I looked at her back, it never gave me answers to any of my questions. We went all the way to the stone steps leading up to the shrine grounds. Of course, we weren't going to want to haul our bikes up there, so we parked them beside the staircase instead. So this is the Furude Shrine. Everybody comes and goes as they please, as if it were a park, but this place is actually a grand estate owned by the Furude family. So the entire shrine is on private property. It really makes you feel the passage of time. 10 or 20 years ago, it would have looked the exact same. And wouldn't that mean that the Furude family is like really old? The history going back for generations? Yeah, you're gone. That's odd. Rena said something clearly disquieting, so I ran over to her. What's wrong, Rena? Rika-chan and Sadako-chan's always leave their bicycles here. See? We're gone. I took a look around. Indeed, there were no other bicycles aside from the ones we'd taken to get here. Couldn't they just park them somewhere else? Could they have brought them up the stairs? Those girls couldn't do that, Keiichi-kun. Just as she said, I couldn't imagine Rika-chan and Satoko lugging their bikes all the way up there. We hadn't yet knocked on Rika-chan's door, but the reality was already sparking some ideas that weren't what you call good. Maybe they were just parked under some trees and we hadn't noticed them. I refuse to believe that not being able to find their bikes here was proof that they disappeared. Let's go. The only way to be sure is to check their house. We all nodded and dashed up the stone steps. We passed through the red arch and came out to the shrine ground, which was covered in neat gravel. It was so quiet here, as though the Watanagashi festival had never happened. So, where's the house they live in? Over here. Come with me. Rena took the lead and sprinted off. We went towards the assembly hall behind the shrine, then looped around behind it. In the darkness of the night, we found a small, prehab, 2-story shack that looked like a warehouse. The lights are off. Are they sleeping? Let's knock. Rena and me are near the shack, which really wasn't a place that looked like a people. Rena and me are near the shack, which didn't really look like a place where people would live. They had such a beautiful shrine, so I figured they lived in an equally beautiful house. It was far from what I expected. Rika-chan! Sadako-chan! Are you there? Rena shouted up towards the second floor. Her voice was restrained at first, but it suddenly grew louder. No answer. In fact, there wasn't any sort of activity in the house at all. They must be sleeping. Let's wake them up. Rena banged on the shutter with both hands, and loud sounds echoed into our surroundings. They wouldn't have noticed this much noise. They would turn on the light in the room, fling open the They would turn on the light of the room, fling open the windows, and yell, "What time do you think this is?" That, however, wasn't happening. There was absolutely no response. Mion stopped slamming her fist on the shutter, and a sudden silence fell all over us. The silence aroused terrible thoughts in us. I could feel the blood draining from my face. It's locked. I wonder if we could get in somehow. Rena showed no signs of stopping. It didn't look like she would admit that we weren't there until we went inside and saw for ourselves. That refusal gave me the strength. The second story window wouldn't be locked. I'll give them a try. Kei-chan, a ladder. Mion brought over a ladder that was standing against the house. The footing was a little unstable for me to be climbing on it, but Mion held the ladder firmly in place for me. I hadn't climbed too many ladders. My inexperience with them was exposed. I climbed up one step at a time and tried to catch each window on the second floor. Mii-chan, I'm going to check the main house just to be sure, okay? I'll be right back. Rena darted away. What? A main house? It's the Furude family's actual house. After her parents passed away, I think it had been left like that. Alright. Rika-chan's parents. They passed away, huh? At the point, I recalled something else. Wasn't Satoko living there too? Satoko's also an orphan. Her parents fell from a cliff because of Oishio-sama's curse. And our older brother, Satoshi-kun, he disappeared. Satoshi? I never heard the name before. I remembered. He was the one who disappeared last year because of the curse. Ever since then, Satoko and Rika-chan have been living in this shack. Neither of them has any family, but at least they're together. They help each other out. Rena said main house, didn't she? Wouldn't it be easier to live there? The curtains were drawn, so I couldn't get a good look inside to see, but two young girls living together seemed like a pretty tough life. I think she tried that at first. She said it was hard, though, because it reminded her of her parents. I had no idea. I feel really bad for them. Also, sorry for doing Rena's voice for Mion. I kind of made a mistake right there. Sorry about that. They were normally so cheerful at school that I never realized an atom of this. Rika-chan and Satoko-chan, they have it hard, huh? Wait, oh! That was Keiichi, and now that's Mion. She's cursed. Huh? Suddenly, Mion said something in such a low voice, it sounded like she was really cursing someone, and I didn't let it slide. I turned around and allowed to face her and asked again. Mion, what did you just say? I said, she's cursed! Mion, still holding up the ladder, brought her head up to look at me in the eyes. As soon as our eyes met, absolute zero joule of electricity surged in my body. Mion's eyes clouded over, and with them boiled and bubbled a stew of chaos. It rolled around and around like a raging sea, and bubbles floated to the surface. I had at some point been trapped on this ladder, like being cornered in a dead-end street. Mion, why are you making that face? I intended to follow up that you're going too far with a joke and give her a forced smile. However, on such an uneven footing as I was, the only thing that could come out of my mouth was a hoarse groan as I desperately struggled not to let the nausea overwhelm me. Satoko Hojo. She's been cursed by Oishio-sama. Beyond the answers, her response was something I'd never asked, as it replied to somebody else's question. The only people who fell for the park opposition platform were their parents. Only her parents who treated her like dirt died that way. She was the only person to survive. Then she was sent to live with her aunt, who treated her cruelly, and the aunt was killed the night of Watanagashi by some demon, who beat her to death so violently her brains were splattered everywhere in her head, and entirely different... Oh, wow. I should actually read the lines that I'm trying to improvise based off of the lines. Let me read that again. Let's read the really brutal line about how her aunt died. Then she went on to live with her aunt, who treated her cruelly, and the aunt was killed at night with Watanagashi by some deviant, who beat her head so violently that her brains were everywhere, and her head was an entirely different shape by the end of it. Then Satoshi-kun, who always protected her, he suddenly disappeared on her birthday. Someone made him disappear, even though he wasn't abusing her. The police charged him to have run away home, but Satoshi wasn't the kind of person who would do that. He was always earnest. He would never ask for somebody else's help. He would always drag himself through everything with a hard look alone. He worked so hard that he nearly ground his bones into dust, all for one, his only little sister, and yet someone had made him disappear. She was the only thing he lived for, and yet someone made him disappear. Poor Satoshi-kun. He was never rewarded. That's Satoshi-kun. How grateful that child is. She's cursed. All who get near her suffer the same fate. The curse that kills him. The curse that makes him disappear. She cannot have any relief. It's probably Sakashi's fault that Rika-chan disappeared too. It has to be it. Mia was mumbling words over and over that were no longer coherent. Her shoulders were trembling so hard that I could feel it through the ladder. I almost lost my footing, which made me realize just how far away the ground really was. Calm down, Mion! I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure she heard me. Mion rocked back and forth, and that rocking and trembling was becoming even more violent. Help me. The ladder. It's falling. Help me. Just then, I heard the sound of many people running towards us. Oh, hey! Over here! I nearly said help me outright. 4 or 5 adults, led by Rena, ran over here with flashlights. Keiichi-kun, Mi-chan, sorry it took so long. I borrowed the key. Oh, nice one. Seems all the windows and doors are perfectly sealed. I was getting worried. When I heard Neon talking like nothing had just happened, I get felt a chill run through me. I'm sorry, but that run of screaming actually was pretty hard to read because I was trying to go fast like she would've. But yeah, I need to take a moment of drinking water real quick. Sorry, everyone. Ooh, yeah, this is becoming really serious since Rika and Satoko are disappeared. Oh, have disappeared now. So yeah, this is getting to the climax of this chapter where we get answers? Yeah, we don't really get answers in the first 4 games of Higurashi. We get them in the next 4 games. So let's keep on reading and be confused. The person who was currently holding the ladder in place, it was definitely Mion. It was the real Mion Sonozaki. And the person muttering to themselves just a minute ago. Who was that? The person who was mumbling about terrible things like curses. Who was that? I jumped down from the ladder as if running away before Mion turned into that person who wasn't Mion for a second time. The adults tried a few different keys on a keyring as they tried to open the big shutter on the first floor. Rika-chan's house used to be a disaster shelter for the town council, so the key to the shutter is still kept in the mayor's house. It's Rika-chan and Satoko's private residence now, though. Well, this is Rika-chan's property anyway. Nobody complains about it. Mion gave me a smile as she said that. I, however, could only return to gaze with the ghast expression. Mion was acting all too normal now, but that was only contrasted to more sharply than her earlier un-Mion-like creepiness. Bang! Bang! Clatter! 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 Bang! The shadow opened up for the first time in a very long while. Rena located the light switch and wasted no time going inside. I followed her in. Rika-chan! Sadako-chan! If you're here, say something! We climbed the narrow staircase. It had looked like nothing more than a warehouse, but now that I was inside, I could feel how lived in it was. It was a person's home. Somehow, the scent of 2 of them filled the place. This was definitely where Rika-chan and Sadako-chan lived. The first floor doubled down as a town assembly warehouse, but the second floor was space entirely for living. Just like a one-room apartment, past the kitchen was a living room, taking up about 150 square feet. Dressers, cupboards, and the like were packed into space, and in the corner there was a huge pile of clothes that appeared to have just been taken from the drying outside. In the center of the living room was a fold-up table, and on it were small containers for things like soy sauce and salad dressing. The sense of a frugal lifestyle drifted from all of it. It was strange that they weren't here in the middle of the night like this. The adults, climbing up the stairs one at a time, began to make a fuss and talk amongst themselves. So? Not here? Yeah, they're not here. This is definitely weird. The villagers has been thrown into chaos yesterday because of the mayor's disappearance. Then today, even Rika-chan and Satoko had. Were they out playing somewhere together? That can't be. The bicycles aren't there, though. Where would have they gone so late at night? Have they just not come back yet? Where did they go? The adults put forth various possibilities, and the house immediately devolved into a state of confusion. Eventually, Mion settled them down. I don't want to believe it, but the mayor, Kimiyoshi, disappeared yesterday. We can't say that this is unrelated. The adult's faces paled at Mion's declaration. Mine and Rena's did as well. Let's see. They could have all gone nearby for some tea or something, then accidentally falling asleep. Whoever invited them might just not have been able to wake them up at all, too. Let's eliminate that possibility first. Makoto-san, please go around to the houses near the stream. Kajiro-san, go look near Ojaka Lake. Okumura-san, you... Mion promptly gave directions to the villagers. The adults followed them without any hesitation, despite her age. Remain here and call up anyone we can think of on the phone. Okay, everyone, you have your orders. Got it! The adults all roared in a reply and pounded down the stairs below. Ooh, Now this is getting to the climatic point. Well, Mi-chan, you're not only the chairperson of the school, but Himizawa too. No time for jokes. Hey, step aside. This old man is using the phone. Mion grinned proudly, took the receiver and got started. Rena gave Mion a trusting look, considering her dependable for doing all this. My feelings, though, were a little more complicated, since her leadership seemed to be affirming the Sonozaki family's successor impression that Shion Oishis had given me. Stop right there, Keiichi Maibara. None of that matters right now. The most important thing is to make sure Rika-chan and Satoko are safe. Let's see. Couldn't there be a clue hitting at where they might have gone in this room? Still, though, I wouldn't know what to look for anyway. If we tore the whole place apart and figured out that what was different from before, we might be able to speculate, but there was nothing strange about this room, and there were no clues in sight. In the first place, I'd never been here before. There was no way for me to know what was different if I didn't know how the room usually looked. Hey, don't give it a cage, Maibara. Stop thinking around and start looking. For something. In search of something, I tried pulling open the dresser drawers and opened the windows. I did not uncover anything meaningful, though. Brenda, also unable to stand looking around doing nothing, was looking around the room like I was. Rena, I don't think you'll find Rika-chan by opening the refrigerator or cabinet underneath the sink. I thought they just might be hiding. Ow! As we were searching, it got noisy outside. Villagers were quickly assembling there, having heard the commotion. Of course, a lot of them were probably people Mion had called. I'll go tell everyone what's going on. The police will be here sooner or later, too. We will need to explain the situation to Oishi. Mion began descending the stairs, and we followed her out to the front of the house. There was already around 10 adults there, and all of them looked uneasy. I suddenly noticed that the old people from the shrine were here as well, and they were praying for Rika-chan's safety, rubbing their prayer beads. This has gone bad. This wasn't just a problem between friends anymore. Mion-chan, is it true that Rika-chan and Satoko weren't anywhere to be found? The villagers all formed a ring around Mion, swarming her. Mion raised her right hand, as if silently telling them to calm down. First, let's check every house according to the town's council notification division and see if they were visiting anyone. After all, they could be fast asleep at someone's house and totally unaware that we're looking for them. It would definitely be hard to see someone to wake up Rika-chan if she... It would definitely be hard for someone to wake up Rika-chan if she had eaten a good full meal and falling asleep like a kitten afterwards. Oh, how nice it would be if that were the case. I don't want to think about this, but it's also possible that something bad has happened. Mion's face grew remarkably more grim, and a wave of silence washed over their adults. We should divide up the work too. We'll all go around to places that we went last night while looking for the mayor. We'll go look around the damn construction site as best as we can. You guys search around the school. Right. Let's get a move on. Come on, let's go. All of you were up all night looking for the mayor. I know you're all low on sleep, but please do your best. Got it. With that as their signal, the adults scatter in every direction. I figured I should scatter somewhere as well, so I started walking unsteadily in the direction no one else had gotten. I was getting farther and farther from people. I didn't feel scared or anything, though. If someone were made to disappear, she and I should be first. It would have been perfectly normal for me to be scared of the dark. However, I didn't feel that way. Why was that? It was because tonight, someone had already disappeared. So nobody else would disappear tonight. It would take some time before I, exhausted as I was, would feel the guilt to cause my own selfish sense of relief. Higurashi, when they cry. Well, I think the next episode will be the last episode. So, let's end this second to last episode with leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you all next time. I'll see you all next time in the most likely final episode of Higurashi When They Cry, Watanagashi. And then I move on to the next part, which I have not figured out how to pronounce the name yet, so I'm not going to try in this episode. I'm going to try in a few episodes from now, in the next Higurashi game, I will be playing Chapter 3. But for now, leave a like, leave a comment, and let's see how Watanagashi ends. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you all next time. Okay.